Hello and welcome to Ziggy Air. Thank you for being here, and today we're going to be flying from Santiago, Chile to Mendoza, Argentina. So we're gonna hop across the Andes, just about so it's gonna be a short fly, just about 120 nautical miles. So it's gonna be a nice fly. We had pretty good weather. We're going to be using FSHud as our ATC. I just want to make sure that, I've been using FSHud and sometimes it works okay, sometimes it doesn't. And I just want to have a good experience with it. I just want to be able to set it and not think too much about it, and just give me the information that I need, and without having to fiddle with it too much. All right, so we are here at Santiago International Airport. We are getting ready for departure. So we're going to be taking off from runway 17 left. And we're going to get FSHud started here. We're just going to import the flight plan, which is here. It's going to be like I'm showing you right now. Santiago. Over here, and it's about, I would say it's about 100 nautical miles as the crow flies. So let's see, we got that, we got the distance. So yeah, it's about 100 nautical miles, 110 or so as the crow flies. Not too bad. Should be very nice views along the way, and we're going to talk about it about the flight, and we're going to talk about our destination, and hopefully you'll like video and you'll learn a little bit about Mendoza, Argentina. All right, we're set to flaps 8, and we're using CRJ 500, and this is a really nice plane, but you have to stay on top of it. Doesn't have auto throttle, and so you have to keep monitoring it. Sometimes you can get overspeed really quickly, so just stay on top of it. All right, so we're on takeoff power. Our V rotation today, it's 140, I believe. All right, so we got our route here from ATC. So it's going to take us south and then around and then coming back to Mendoza going north. It's kind of a U-shaped type of thing. Okay, positive rate and gear up, and we have the sit chart here just to take a look at our departure. All right, we're setting our autopilots here and bringing our flaps up, setting climb thrust, which is really it's not auto throttle, but you know, you have to set it and keep on it. Got some nice views here on our departure from Santiago. Some fog in the morning. And let's see what ATC has to tell us here. All right. I believe we're going to be at cruise altitude of 29,000 feet. And that should be enough to get us across the Andes. The highest peak on the Andes is the Aconcagua, which is 22,831 feet. So 29,000 feet should be enough to get us safely across. And the Andes are a long, just stretched from Peru down to the tip of South America, about 5,500 miles. And in many places it's kind of narrow, especially here in the Santiago area. So it's just about 100 miles across. So there's some wider places in the north, and it becomes narrower. Here's Ziggy, my co-pilot. Well, actually, she's my flying companion. She's still working on her co-pilot license. Sometimes she gets kind of wild, and I don't know if I can trust her with a full co-pilot license here for her. So, but she's been my companion for since I got Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 about 2 years ago. And actually, we adopted her around that time. And every time I come in and fly, would sit down to fly Microsoft Flight Simulator, she comes in and sits next to me and keeps me company. And sometimes she jumps on the desk and messes up my keyboard. And there are problems after that. So, but she's better. She doesn't fail. She comes in and she sits with me all the time when I'm in the cockpit. So if you do have a flying companion, let me know in the comments down below. And who's your flying companion? What type of flying companion do you have? How far along are they in their co-pilot training? So here we are. We're just turning east towards the mountains. Around 16,500 feet. Doing some of the manually adjusting here the level, the throttle levels. You have to, like I said, you have to stay on top. Sometimes if you don't have enough power and you don't keep an eye on it, you stall very easily, and sometimes you can go over speed very easily. So just got to stay on top of it. One thing about this CRJ is that displays are kind of small, and it's hard sometimes to see. If you don't set up your views correctly, it's hard to see your altitude and your speed and things like that. So Ziggy, you gotta get down. I'm sorry, I don't want you to mess with that. Just get down, alright? Yeah, she tends to do that. She's always looking for birds, you know? Which is sometimes can be good. Alright, so we're at just about 20,000 feet. And so far we have pretty good weather here. Winds are kind of calm. There's doesn't seem to be any type of turbulence around. So that's kind of unusual, especially in the winter here in this area of the Andes. Sometimes it can get really windy and treacherous, and you have to stay on top of your game here. But this is a really nice little plane. Kind of enjoy it. At first I wasn't too sure about it. You have to work hard at it. It's not a plane that you're going to set your autopilot and kind of forget about it and do something different, or scratch some tickets or something like that. You just gotta stay on top of it. And so, like I said, our final cruise altitude will be 29,000 feet. Our top of descent should be just right after we cross the border into Argentina, and we'll be setting up our descent from there. So far, so good. It's the winter in the southern hemisphere, so we got a lot of snow in those mountains.
Santiago Center 3005 Romeo Echo November Alpha Kilo.
We are going to Mendoza, and it's a small city at the foothills of the Andes there, and we'll talk a little bit more about it. Alright, so we are almost at 24,000 feet, cruising around 220 to 30. That's our climb speed is, and we're doing about 2,000 feet per minute on our ascent rate. Nothing too bad, nothing that's stressing the airplane out or anything like that. So
6831 heavy, climb and maintain, flight level 190. Climb and maintain, flight level 190, 6831 heavy. Heavy, radar contact, maintain, flight level 330. Maintain, flight level 330, 5752, heavy.
like I said, very nice views. So in FSHud over here, you hear a lot of the traffic on the airways here, but you don't see the traffic while you're flying. So you can see also the traffic. There's some traffic at the airports, but I don't see during my flights with FSHud. I just don't see any air traffic. So that's kind of one thing that I miss from the regular Microsoft default ATC, that at least you have some live traffic around and gives you a sense of that, you know, you're out there with the other planes. So I don't know if that's I've been trying to find, there's a setting there that you can see the traffic, but it's traffic at the airport. One of the settings FSHud requires you to change in Microsoft Flight Simulator is to disable the live traffic. So I don't know. Let me know if you think that that's a game changer for you. I'm still debating whether that, you know, this is a worthwhile add-on here. So we come in. I guess you can see the volcano over here in front of us. That's actually San Jose volcano, and it actually this volcano marks the border between Chile and Argentina. The actual border over here, you can see that goes around the top of the volcano, around the circle of the volcano, and it's on the eastern side of the volcano, the actual border. So we're crossing into Argentina now, and we'll just be switching to Mendoza traffic control over here.
IBEX 1123, maintain flight level 260, contact Mendoza Center 122.1. Maintain flight level 260, contact Mendoza Center 122.1, IBEX 1123. Mendoza Center, IBEX 1123, inbound.
Bring it down
at flight level
to the 17,000 that ATC asked us
IBEX
to
1123, radar contact, maintain flight
move
level
to, and we're
260.
setting our descend rate to just around
IBEX 1123,
2,100 feet per minute.
47 heavy, descend and maintain, flight level 180, cleared Omega 5 Alpha, arrival, contact Santiago Center 119.
So now that we are across the border in Argentina, let's take a look at, let's talk a little bit about our destination here, Mendoza. It's like I said, it's a nice city. It's a small city, just on the foothills of the Andes. The weather is mostly a dry weather, as you get the fronts from the Pacific going up the Andes and dumping a lot of rain and snow in the Andes, and then the dry air comes down, and then it creates a really dry climate for this side of the Andes. Yeah, so kind of a Mediterranean climate is good for wine. So Argentinian wines are famous. I think they're not as famous as Chilean wines. Chilean wine have a larger variety, and the wine industry in Argentina is well known. They have good Cabernet Sauvignon. This particular area of Mendoza and Cordoba. So Cordoba is a larger city east of Mendoza, and again, nice wines in a nice region too. Also, for those who like hiking, there's a really extreme hiking here. You can hike the Aconcagua, like I said, 22,800 feet, and people do it, and it's a nice experience. Also, it has some reasonable nightlife. You have good restaurants. You have clubs that you can visit, and they often have concerts. And you can mingle with some of the locals here. Like I said, it's a great city to visit. It's a great city if you want to work remotely, or if you're at the retirement age, you can retire there and reasonably comfortable. So we're getting down to our altitude of 17,000 feet over here, and we'll be turning north in a short while. Like I said, sometimes you see I'm a little bit fast here, so I have to keep an eye on my speed. So here we are at, this is going to be our ILS approach, and I'm going to have to set the ILS frequency over here. This is not like the Airbus 320 where you set it and it automatically tunes into it. You have to set your ILS frequency over here. That's going to be 109.9. I'm going to set that and just click it, and should be set for the ILS 36, runway 36. Okay, so we are continuing our descent to 7,000 on our approach to ILS 36. And so we're going to take a look at what's around us before the city. So this lake is called Carrizal de Abajo, or the reed bed, the lower reed bed. It's a popular place for boating and fishing. So all right, we're getting close to our arrival. So let's see what FSHud has to say. So far, it's been okay. It's doing what it's supposed to be doing without having to have too many issues with it or fiddle too much with it. So far so good on the FSHud side. The plane is also doing very well. I'm making a few mistakes, not too many. I'm sure I will make some more. Alright, so just moved it a little bit closer to our arrival here. And we should be, our transition altitude for the ILS is 550 feet. And that should be set. So you can see the airport is our 12 o'clock, and I'm going to be doing some of the set up some of the configuration for landing. I'm a little bit fast over here, so I just got to bleed some of that speed. It's going to put some of some spoilers over here and bring down the flaps to 8. So yeah, I'm completely idle to bring the gear down. So far the autopilot is doing a good job keeping on the localizer here, so far so good. Okay. So far so good. The city looks good. It's a nice morning. Nice approach. We are at approach speed. About 170 knots.
Descend and maintain flight level 170. Contact Santiago Center 119er.
So far so good, so smooth.
Delta, arrival, Humor ILS, Tango, approach, runway 17 left, report when ready for descent.
Expect caution 6 Delta, arrival, Puma ILS, Tango, approach, runway 17 left, report when ready for descent. 1218. 6790, heavy, ready for descent. 1218, ready for descent.
So, what is that?
Heavy, descend and maintain, flight level 240.
What is that warning?
Descend and maintain, flight level 240.
Alright, Ziggy, what do you think? What's going on? I'm just gonna manually here
Radar contact. Proceed
do the
direct
landing,
maintain, flight level 330.
and I think I'm a little bit too low.
Flight level 330,
I'm a little bit too low. What is that?
Maintain,
Yeah,
flight
it's telling
level
me to do
290.
that. Okay.
descend
What's
and
that
maintain,
master
flight
warning
level
here?
290,
What's
1218.
going on? Alright. I'm just gonna leave it like that. It looks that we're doing okay here. Center line, and looks like a good touchdown over here.
IBEX
What that warning
1123,
light?
when vacated, contact ground 121.95.
Oh, you know what?
When
What I
vacated,
think had
contact
happened
ground
is I just forgot to bring my.
IBEX
I
1123.
landed with my spoilers on. I forgot to bring those all the way up. Sometimes that happens with this, with my joystick, but the settings that I have on the bindings that I have in the joystick, sometimes for some reason it doesn't, with the spoilers it doesn't do a good job. So that was the master warning, that I had the spoilers on during my landing. They did deploy, so
Mendoza ground, IBEX 1123, runway vacated with Alpha. IBEX 1123.
no, they didn't deploy. They were just on that first
Taxi to gate
notch.
3 via
So
Alpha. IBEX
my bad,
1123.
my bad. All right. So let's get. I think we're going to gate 3. That's what they told us. Gate 3 via Alpha. So. All right. This is actually a nice airport. It's a better airport. I mean, it's for a city, a small city like this. It's good. Actually, if you've ever been in Mexico, in Monterrey, it's a city about 10 times bigger than this, and they have this little tiny, wrinkly, little tiny airport for a large city like that. I don't get it. You can't even get, so if you fly into Monterrey with an Airbus 320, it's just, you're not gonna find a good spot there. Here, you got your 320s, A320s, you got your smaller airplanes, but it's a good airport here, the good size airport for the type of city. Alright, so let's get to gate 3. So far so good. Let me know if you enjoyed this flight. As always, if you enjoyed it, please let me know. Like and especially subscribe. If you're not a subscriber, we're going to have a lot of other videos here. We're going to show you different places, not just your typical type of flight simulator videos. I'm going to try to bring in different things, different facts about the places that we're flying into. So I think that makes it a little bit more interesting in terms of the flight. If sometimes I may focus on particular flying tips, I may bring in or just explain a tip about the settings of a particular airplane that we'll be using. So, but I'm just gonna try to keep it balanced between interesting facts and interesting things around our destinations and some flying techniques and tips. So Alright, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and Ziggy, as always, would like you to like and subscribe, because if not, she gets kind of antsy and starts scratching and biting my wife. So just if the more likes and subscribes that she sees on the channel, the better she feels and the calmer that she gets. Alright? Alright, thank you very much, and see you next time.